Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out, join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.
Good evening and welcome. It's November 12th, and here we are to a live podcast, Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. I'm Bob Pace. I'm your host. And also, I'm very fortunate tonight to have a guest on my phone who will talk with us tonight. Her name is Faye Manley. She's from Kentucky. And I'll talk to you more about her guest. But she wants to share some things about her issues, and she's been on before, so that is a blessing to have. Now, you just heard Vincent Davis talk about his podcast on the November 16th, which happens to be my birthday. Wow. I'm going to be the oldest dinosaur in the world. I'm going to be 75 years old. Anyway, I'm still going strong. I've worked 60 years of my life. And I'm a family man. I've been through 2 marriages, one for 10 years, the other one for 32 years. I have 6 children combined. 3 are older, 3 are younger. And CPS attacked me. And it happened, I've been fighting for 15 years, and they trafficked my children, they alienated my children. Horrible, horrible experience. And Faye has been through a similar situation. And so what I'd like to do right now is to warmly welcome you and tell you that there are 4 ways you can interact with this podcast, and that there are 5 rules that I've come up with. One of them actually was from Faye, and they're to help you with your CPS case. Now, what CPS stands for, that I call it, the Child Protection System. Every state, and every state has counties, and every county will have a name of an agency that's a part of social services that's empowered by Congress to protect our children from neglect and abuse. Over 1,000 children daily are lost. They're being abused. And CPS needs to do its job. The problem being, I'm afraid to tell you, that after talking to over 600 some people, they're doing the wrong kind of job. And including myself, I had a horrible case. Faye did. They're very corrupt individuals, whether you're in Kentucky or California or in Maine or Pennsylvania or on the Indian reservation in South Dakota, the home of the Lakota Sioux, at the Rosebud Reservation, or the Cherokee in Oklahoma that moved from Florida to Oklahoma in the 1870s when they were trying to get all the tribes move on to reservations. But anyway, our children need to be protected, but we also need to help our families in need. One thing they're supposed to do, not only protect our children, they're supposed to help out our families in the areas of food, clothing, shelter, transportation, education, medical, and also help you find a job. That's the purpose. And furthermore, if they decide to break up your family because your children are in imminent danger and they need to be taken away from you, they're supposed to do family reunification, because studies have shown the best parents are the biological parents for raising children. So they should address the situations that got them involved with the parents, get it corrected, and then have the family back together. In fact, child protection system has got so bad that from the 1870 1875 to 1978, or it was 1870. Anyway, in that 100 years, they were constantly taking Indian children and putting them with adoptive families. There was no family reunification among Indian children. So they passed an act called the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978, which basically says that the child protection system must ask the parents if they have any Indian blood or Indian children or Indian themselves. And if they do so, they need to verify that they are registered with that tribe. And the tribe is one of the 548 tribes that are federally recognized in the United States. Because if they are Indian children, then CPS must relinquish them to the tribe, to the reservation, and the tribe themselves will put them with a family to do family reunification. And the tribe is better suited. It's Indian lands. Federal government cannot go on Indian lands. That's why they're allowed casinos. People didn't realize they can gamble on their own private land, and that's why they make so much money to help them out and so forth. But there's a lot of topics to talk about, a lot of things to talk about. So I want to warmly welcome you all because it may have been a rough day for you. It may have been a horrible day. Things didn't go right. All I know is every day is a new day. When the sun comes up, that's a new day. It's my favorite time of the day. At 4 a.m., I do what's called the dawn patrol. And I've been doing that since I was age, 6. I wanted to see my dad. He was a military man, so he left for work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I wanted to see my dad, who didn't come home till 6 o'clock at night. He was a military job. It's full time, and he'd go away for 9 months at a time. So I'd wake up with him. Well, what I started doing is I started surfing at age 6, and I wanted to check to see if the surf was up. So I'd go out there and see the sun come up and see the waves roll in and taste that salt air and the salt water on my lips. And if it was up, I'd grab my board and go out surfing. Anyway, that was a long time ago. That's almost 68 years ago. I think I've been surfing for 68 years. Don't do as much lately, but I need to get back out and paddle around and keep my circulation going. I don't know, maybe there's something in salt water that keeps you young, forever young, or whatever the case may be. But anyway, I'm going to introduce you to Faye, who's going to talk to you about some things that she has been trying to put together. Faye is a remarkable woman. She's a single woman, and she has a beautiful son that's a special needs son. She had 2 children. Unfortunately, she was brought up in foster care. She was in and out of foster care 5 times as a small child and later as a teenager. She was raped, molested, sexually trafficked, and she had everything done to her. Torture, so her feet, she can hardly walk today. And what was so unfortunate, after she went all that, and her mom had problems, and her mom couldn't get over her problems. So when her mom passed away, she loved her mom to the end. And so she somehow got a high school diploma. And then she got a college degree as a registered nurse. Now that's after spending, almost her whole teenage life in foster care. And after being all the horrible things that have done to her, all the sacrifice she made. And she wanted to have a child. And she was blessed to have 2 children. One was a boy and one was a girl. Unfortunately, the CPS in Richmond, Kentucky keeps a record of traffic of child foster care children. And they wanted her child. They wanted her young daughter. But they told her that you can pick one or the other child. You can pick your special needs son or you can pick your daughter. Well, she's going to pick her special needs because he needs her. He cannot take care of himself by himself. He needs the help of an adult that can help him with some of the special needs. So anyway, she was hurt. She was hurt because she questioned herself, why is I'm okay to take care of my son, but I can't take care of my daughter? And unfortunately, she's been doing this, fighting it for 13 years. I think her daughter's 12 now, and her son is in his 20s. And she wants to get a message out to her daughter that she loved her daughter. She did not want to give her up for adoption, but she was forced to. The judge and the child protection system were bad. They forced her to give up her child. And that is not the first case. There are lots of cases. In fact, Kentucky has the notorious thing where they say, well, your children up for adoption, you get one more session with them to tell them goodbye. Now, how are you going to tell someone goodbye without crying, without showing any emotions? That's what they do in Kentucky. And I'm not saying it's any different than any other state. California is just as bad. California is just as bad. But anyway, there are 5 ways to interact with this podcast. And I see a room filling up, which is great. We've already got some emojis. In this first step, you found me on Facebook, Fighting CPS. I'm on 7 days a week, twice a day. I come on at 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, and 7 o'clock at night, Pacific Standard Time. There's exceptions to that. On Saturday, I come on at 8 o'clock, so it gives you guys hear Mr. Davis's podcast at 10 o'clock on Saturday. And on Sunday, I come on at 8 o'clock, so I go to church at 10:30. So those are deviations from my show time. Also, this is, high school football. It's Friday Night Lights. And my son's school has a playoff this Friday night, the 15th of November at 7 o'clock. So I'm hoping that I can get my time off at 4 o'clock and do the podcast so I can go to the football game with my son. And it's the day before my birthday, so my son said he wanted to celebrate my birthday at the football game. So I will be hopefully coming on at 4 o'clock, but I need to check it out with my show producer. Now, KK's in the room. I'm glad to see you. You were in last night. I'm so glad you did. And you're writing to me a mile a minute. And if I forgot something, I'm sorry, KK Richardson. She's also known as Akima Richardson, KK or KAY, KAY. So she has several ways in there. And we have a new person, John McKenzie. Hello, John, and warm welcome to you to my live podcast. Now, I'm going to put his message up there. John McKenzie. Hello, I've been on your show with Mr. Davis, I think, before. Because of what CPS did, ripping my child away over a lie. Because her mom, who's been gone the first 5 years of her life, wanted she back, and she didn't want to go. I'm still fighting 3 years later, but I haven't given up. I promised my daughter I wouldn't give up. I'm in Kentucky right now. I'm CPS is dirty down there. I agree. The cabinet is very bad in Kentucky. I have them recorded lying and changing documentation of the system. It's bad what CPS did. They're still bad. So, John, what county or city are you in Kentucky? And welcome, John. It's good to see you again. Now, Akima KK is from Brooklyn, New York. She's a single mom. She has several daughters that were taken away. She's been trying to fight. She's actually got her degree in dependency law so she could fight CPS, but she does have an attorney. It's a slow process. And on the 18th, I think next Monday, she's got something with them and so forth. John, if you could tell me the county that you're in Kentucky, it'd be great. John says Henderson County. Okay, Henderson County. Maybe Faye will know where Henderson County is. She's in Richmond. I don't know what county Richmond is, but she's up there in Richmond. So this first way, you guys are doing great. You give me emojis, which are thumbs up, smiley faces or hearts. You can send me stars. Also, please check below and follow me, and also check the notification to be notified. Now, if you want to go a step further and not just to listen, you want to actually say some things, you can do this. You can also text me a message. And what I mean by that is that you can type in a question or a comment about your CPS. Please show your name, city, state, or country, and be complete with your CPS case. So all I need to do is see your first name, a city or your county, like we have John McKenzie says he's from Henderson County in Kentucky. And when I say country, I have 15 countries that have texted in and been a part of this podcast. I've had Bangladesh, I've had New Delhi, India. In the Middle East, I have Lebanon, and then I have Saudi Arabia, and then over to the continent of Africa, I've had Liberia on the west coast of North Africa, little coastal country there. I've had Rwanda in Central East Africa near Lake Victoria. I've had Mozambique opposite Madagascar and above South Africa. And then, of course, had the West Coast province of South Africa. Then going up to Europe, I've had England, Scotland, Wales, part of the United Kingdom, and Denmark and Sweden. And then going over the pond to North America, I've had Canada, several of the provinces over there, the west and east coast of Canada. I've also had the United States, all 50 states that either called in or texted in. I've talked to over 600 people. And then south of the border, I've had Mexico. And then down in South America, I've had Grenada, opposite Venezuela, north of Brazil on the east coast of South America. Then across the Pacific to land down under, I've had Australia. And I've had the Gold Coast, east coast of New South Wales in the Sydney area, and then the south coast of the state of Victoria at Melbourne. And so I've had good representation around the world. They too have CPS problems. And when I say be complete with your CPS case, tell me your family makeup and tell me more details about your allegations of abuse, the ages of your children, the sexes of your children, and also how your children were taken, and where you at on your case. So that being said, that is the second way that you can be a part of this podcast. Now, Okima has said to John McKenzie, you need to get a copy of your delivered service logs to prevent editing or alternating and your obstruction. So Akima offered you a suggestion. Also, Akima said, based on the information I just got from Wikipedia, Henderson County does not favor the rights of fathers at all. So I don't know if that's good news or bad news, but thank you, Akima. And Akima further said, a sideboard, Bob, just let me know, and I'll be going back to court on Monday to finish the fact-finding trial. Yes, I know. I already said you're going back on the 18th. So thank you, Akima. And Akima says, and for those people either in Kentucky, Tennessee, Arizona, Nebraska, all have the same rights when it comes to the father implementing an interest of being an active parent. That's good to know. That's good to know there. And so that is great. So I did talk about how to type in podcasts. Now, if you want to schedule to be on my show as a guest, all you have to do is write my show producer. Her name is Grace, and she'll gladly put you on the show. You just email her at grace@vincentwdavis.com. That's grace@vincentwdavis.com. And you pick a day, Monday through Sunday, morning or evening shows. And you put in the email, she'll give you a link. I broadcast on YouTube, and I use the application called StreamYard. She'll give you that link. It'll get you on. If you get knocked off, say the link. That link will get you back on. That link is good for the show. She'll help you what you can do and not do on the show, like no smoking or eating on the show. We don't use the names of children, judges, or social workers. She'll help you out with your lighting and sound and other things too. So she's really helpful. So make sure you email her, to grace@vincentwdavis.com. That's to be a guest. Now, the last thing you can do is you can call in. And I have a number of 626-698-0990. Now, you can only talk to me during my show times. You can't call me before my show times or after my show times. I will not answer. So that's all important there. So those are the 4 ways you be in this room currently is 1. 2, you text me a message, which a lot of you done already. 3, you be a guest on my podcast, and 4, you get the phone number. Now, for some of you don't realize, if you're a guest on my podcast or you call, you'll get a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis, and that is arranged through my my show producer. And all you have to do is email me or text me on my number. Text me on my number, not email me. Text me on my number, your name, your phone number, and your email. And then I'll forward it on to Grace to have you help to get that free 15 minutes with Mr. Davis. And that's if you do as a guest or you call in. Now, another way to talk to Mr. Davis is you can go to that thing at the bottom of my screen, the ticket running. You go to a website and he'll give you a 30-minute consultation, a private one, for $60. 30 minutes for $60. It's well worth the $60 investment, and you get a lot to talk about. All you have to do is go to the website, and it's http://Candly, CALENDLY.com/apps, APPTS, VWD/Bob Pace. And that'll get you there with your credit card. You can book yourself a 30-minute session for $60. Now, I have another number on the screen, and it's 888-6582. Some of the numbers are cut out by my backdrop. Maybe my show producer can work on that. It's hard to see the number of her office, but that's a direct link to her office. When you call in, make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you, and that you can contact and retain Mr. Davis right away. Or you can get another attorney if you're interested in immigration law, real estate law, divorce, criminal, any law you talk about. He's got attorneys to do that. Now, Akima has said some more since the last time I've been talking here, so let me pick up after her there. Now, John says, she's in Henderson. Yeah, I got you down in Henderson. And he said, John, you need to get a copy. I already talked about that. Guest on the information. All right. And then Sideboard Bob, and I got that, Akima. And then Akima further said, Arizona. Okay, John McKenzie has a long one. Let's see what John is saying right now. I'll put that up. After the allegations were found unsubstantiated by CPS and the forensics examination, my little girl had to go through and found me innocent. They tried to charge me with the chance that I might abuse my daughter, which I had to file an appeal. I won the IWJ the able. The appeal judge said I was guilty, or for me to be able to see my daughter at least once a week. And her mom hasn't let me see her. That sounds terrible. The judge says you were guilty? Was it substantiated? John further says, sorry, I like to be thorough. You are thorough. That's fine, John. Don't worry. Don't have to apologize in this room. And Akima further says, what are the allegations for Mr. McKenzie? Well, he says he did something to his daughter and I don't know what they are, but the judge says he's guilty. And does he have a prior history of CPS? I don't know that, John. Do you have a prior history? Now, okay, John did say something. Okay. Now, I'd like Faye to come on because she's been waiting here for almost 25 minutes to talk. Faye, why don't you introduce yourself and start to speak on this show, okay?
What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
That's okay. I said you've been waiting to speak on the show. You had some things you want to discuss tonight. Could you tell the audience what you have?
Oh, yeah, just a second.
Okay.
Well, there always seems to be social workers or judges in this state that commit actual crimes and never get held accountable for them. They get just a basic slap on the wrist every single time. And for an example, this judge right here, her name is, just a second. Trying to pull it up. Her name is, if I can find it, Judge, see, Judy Vance Murphy is her name. She's been suspended. She's a circuit judge in Kentucky who was suspended for 2 weeks without pay. For 2 weeks. Wow. What a slap on the wrist. After the state's Judicial Conduct Commission found she violated several codes of conduct, including using her position to influence cases. According to the order of suspension, Judge Vance Murphy, presiding over the state's 29th Judicial Circuit in Casey and Adair counties, inappropriately discussed cases with people not involved in the cases between 2017 and 2021, threatening the independence, integrity, and partiality of her judgeship. In September 2023, according to the order, Judge Murphy also used her influence as a judge to handle personal matters involving her own daughter and her daughter's boyfriend and his mother. And Murphy was cited for using her personal phone while on the judge's bench, resulting in complaints that she was inattentive during the court hearings and proceedings. In all, Murphy is accused of violating 4 different rules of the Judicial Code of Conduct. She admitted to these allegations that they were true and waived further hearings. Murphy's lawyer, Janet Stumbo, said Tuesday she had no further comment about the suspension. The opinion issued by the Judicial Commission itself, she said, "We make no other comments other than what is in there." Along with her unpaid suspension, Murphy is no longer allowed to enter her judicial office at the Casey County Judicial Center or any offices at other locations. Her suspension began Monday, according to the order, and will last until November 25th. This will be a permanent mark on her judicial record. In one of the Code of Conduct violations, Murphy admitted that she had asked a suspended attorney to sign an affidavit stating that Murphy was not vindictive. Murphy must now recuse herself from all proceedings involving the unnamed suspended attorney. She cannot preside over any issues or rulings or participate in any capacity in the matters with that attorney. Murphy was sworn in as circuit judge in 2023. That's all it says.
Now, is she a dependency lawyer? I mean, a law judge? She's in dependency court?
She's circuit court, so I'm sure she has, handled some of those cases.
I was going to say, I don't know what circuit court handles. I've heard the name circuit court. I know dependency court judges, and criminal court judges, but I don't know too much about circuit court judges.
Mm-hmm.
Do they handle appeals?
I'm not sure what all they actually do. I haven't looked. Let me see.
Yeah, I have to look too.
Circuit Court Judges, Kentucky. I'm gonna type right. Let's see.
Oh, they're court appeal judges.
Matters.
They're court appeals. Yeah, that's what they are.
Circuit court judges in Kentucky handle a variety of cases, including civil matters, criminal cases, land disputes, contested probate cases, appeals, injunctions, writs, and mandamus. So a variety of stuff. It says circuit courts also have a family court division that handles cases involving dissolution of marriage or divorce, child custody, visitation, maintenance and support, alimony and child support, equitable distribution of property in dissolution cases, adoptions, and termination of parental rights, domestic violence and abuse, penancy, neglect and abuse, and juvenile status offenses. So they pretty much do it all.
Yeah, I think I just took myself off here. Let me get myself back on. Dang. I don't know. I was looking up something and all of a sudden I lost my page. Let me get back on there. And hopefully I can get back on. Oh boy. I don't know. Let me see if I get back on here. Okay. Oh, I thought I had myself off. Now I'm echoing me. How do I add myself off here? Uh I just let me okay, can you hear me or am I echoing?
You're echoing.
Okay, let me leave the studio. Hold on a second. Let me go. Is it echoing? Yeah.
No.
I'll go ahead and leave that. And then get back. No. Let me see. How do you end this one here? Testing 1, 2, 3. Am I in? I think I'm in. Okay. I'll just.
You're still echoing.
No, it's echoing. It's echoing. I'm trying to remove my second me. Grace, can you remove me? I'm trying to remove the other screen, but it won't let me. Hold on. Grace, if you can hear me, can you remove the second person on there? It only lets me remove. I'm trying to, Grace. Every time I leave, it only takes the one I enter in with. And to get back in, I have to enter it in there. Okay. I was turning the microphone off so you don't hear it twice. I somehow got myself 12 twice in the room. Both microphones were on. Now I got myself doubled. Ah, thank you. Maybe that will work. Is that better, Grace? Now let me see if I can get it back on.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's still going. I don't know what happened.
Well, no, it's not your fault. The fault is I accidentally left the podcast and I tried to re-enter it in. When I re-enter it, it gave me a new window. And I'm trying to get rid of one of the two windows. I know it creates feedback, Grace. That's what I'm not trying to put up. But how do I get in the room if I leave the room? How do I? Okay, let me see if
See, you're not echoing right now.
I know because I'm not on.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have it on your end where you can see it, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I can, though. I can go look. Uh-huh.
I'm trying to figure out how to get back in.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm on there. What do you want me to do?
Do you see me?
Yeah, I see you,
But you don't hear me.
but you're just like there's no voice to you.
No, because I'm outside the room. Now, if I come back in, it's going to be a second of me that comes back in. Testing 1, 2, 3. As soon as I enter, it's going to be two of me. So let me try the microphone. Okay. We it mutes up.
I muted.
Oh, okay. I got you in the middle. I got me in the right. Okay. I'm sorry for the technicality, but if you can hear me, then that is all right. Okay, we'll try to proceed with the podcast.
Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out. Join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.